Hello gamers, this is a video I've been waiting to do for a long time. Alright, not that long, but what seemed forever. This is the NeoGeo Mini Arcade, and I've been really excited about this. But I'm a little worried too, because I try really hard not to look at anybody else's reviews of these things before I go into a review. Sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing, but I really hate bandwagons, and I think like once a major reviewer says something's bad, everybody afterwards does so. So I really don't like my opinions to be tainted. Unfortunately, Metal Jesus, I didn't watch his video. the headline that he put up for this review made me a little worried about it. So hopefully I will not, I won't have any effects from that, but well, I'm a little worried now. Anyway, this is it. It's got 40 NeoGeo games on it. Also, this thing supports a lot of things, but one of the things it does support, HDMI out is one of the things it supports too, which is a big deal to me. The other thing it supports is external controllers, and I'm really looking forward to that. And man, I hope this thing's great. All right, let's unbox this thing.
Retro Rob plays everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, the NeoGeo Mini International version. This just came out about a week ago. There was a Japanese version that's been out for a while, but this one's got some different games in it. Actually, most of the games are the same, but there's a few change-outs in it. It is a little miniature arcade. Now, it's not trying too hard to look like an arcade, but it has some things that I like a little bit bigger screen than many of them. And of course, the other part is it runs arcade ROMs versus the NES ROMs that most of the other ones run. Now, I did do one a couple weeks back that did do arcade ROMs, but it had, well, kind of a mixed review. I liked it, but didn't like it. This one's right around the same price range, and this one's got 40 games, and they're all gonna be pretty good, I would guess. So hopefully the controls are up to the task. Another thing, by the way, this thing has things like HDMI out, so you can play this on a screen if you don't want to play it on the mini arcade. This is the only mini arcade that I have reviewed that has that capability. Also, it does have the capability of having this little guy right here, which is a gamepad attached to it. You can, in fact, attach two of them so you can play two players. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. Now again, I've seen that feature in another one, but I've never seen them in this nice of a type of device. So, well, hopefully it's gonna go well. Let's unbox it. Grr. Open. All right, here we go. Looking inside, there is a sizable manual. It's in several languages though, so that's probably why. But it does have a diagram of how to hook things up. That's very nice. Here we have the device itself. I'll unbag that in a minute. I'm gonna assume this is for the power supply. Yes, indeed. Here we have a USB cable. I don't see, it's weird, I don't see an actual plug for it. Does it not include a plug? That'd be kind of a bummer. Here's some NeoGeo Mini stickers. And here we have back up a little bit. And here we have the device itself.
Retro Rob plays everything.
Alright, so let's take a look around the NeoGeo Mini. It has been a couple weeks since the actual unboxing of this, so I know a lot more about this device through playing than I did when I started this. So if anything contradicts anything else I said, trust what I'm saying now. Alright, let's get started. Alright, first thing is the joystick. I really like the fact that it lights up, it looks really nice, and it works pretty well. However, those of you who have dealt with SNK for years will know that usually SNK has kind of a positive click to pressing on the joystick. There's nothing like that here. It feels kind of like an analog stick, to be honest. Another thing I want to point out, and I don't want to forget this stuff, because these are some important things that might annoy you, is the layout of these buttons. Now, on the home version, which is basically what this emulates, of NeoGeo, generally the layout of the buttons is A, B, C, D, whereas this is A, B, C, D. Now, I have not had many problems playing games with it. That's worked fine, because I usually use the joystick, which was laid out differently anyway, so it's an alien layout to me. But I can totally understand how that would bother some people, especially if you go over to here with this guy. Again, usually it's A, B, C, D, so if you're used to using this style of gamepad, it might throw you off. Also note that there's no positive click here either. I think that's kind of a missed opportunity. I don't find it a big deal. I actually find this better for shooters and platformers. However, not as good as the original for fighters, and that might be a big deal. So if you're a big lover of fighters, it might cost you a little bit. Oh, just another real quick thing on the buttons. They're a little bit flat and boring. They don't feel cheap or anything, but they don't have that kind of, I don't know, responsive feel that arcade buttons do. Now, they're much smaller than arcade buttons, and I wouldn't expect it. And they're still way better than anything I've seen in a mini arcade before. But note, they aren't perfect. Plastics quality. The plastics quality is very good throughout. This really does feel tough and durable. I don't think you're going to have any problems. Another thing is, this is not a sticker. This is actually printed on, and this is one of the big complaints I've had with mini arcades, is that they just use some vinyl, and some of them are really cheap. This is really well done, very classy, much better than even its competitor, the Data East mini arcade, which is about the same price as this. All right, time for a port walk. Looking on this side, you'll see that there's a USB-C controller port on this side and one on the opposite side. That's so you can play 2 players with this. Pretty darn cool. I actually ordered another one of these so that when I have people over, I can play this game with them, because I do enjoy this quite a bit. On the back, we have this nice SNK button. Feels nice. It's not cheap, but there is a little bit of wobble. You see that? Just a little bit of wobble. Doesn't feel like it's going to fall out or anything, but I wanted to mention it. Also, let's take a look. There's an HDMI port on the back. It's a mini. And then we have got a headphone jack and, of course, USB-C for power. Note again, one of my disappointments is that they did not include an actual power adapter for this. They just give you the USB-C cable. You could plug it into your PC or into your phone charger, but come on, it's $100. Really should have included that. All right, and looking at the bottom, there are some rubber skid stops on the bottom, which is really nice and helpful when it's sitting on a table, because that way it doesn't walk around when you're playing it. Sweet. And here we have the screen, and it looks really good. It's in 4x3, so you don't get any stretching. The color is very nice. It's a beautiful screen. It really is. It's kind of small, but I mean, it's about the same size as the average mini arcade, so you can't really complain. I mean, it's got the form factor it has. Plus, you got video out. Notice right here that I have very smooth movements with the controller itself. I'm not like herky-jerky or missing anything. It does have a rather long throw to it though, which might put some people off, so note that. The sound quality is pretty good. It's not absolutely fabulous. The volume goes up fairly loud, but less loud than some of the mini arcades. That said, quality all around is decent as far as that goes. Oh, one last thing. Note that these are the AES versions of these games. They are not the MVS or arcade versions. The only real difference in most cases is the fact that it doesn't take quarters to start the game. But it's something to note if you are a purist who wants the MVS stuff. It's kind of funny because this is shaped like an arcade. You'd think they'd use the MVS. I don't think it's a big deal, but you may or may not. Alright, let's go plug this into the HDMI adapter and take a look at some more games. I'm going to do about 5 of them. Real quick, let's start by scrolling through all the games on the game list. There's 40 of them. We've got Metal Slug, Metal Slug 2, Metal Slug X, which in my opinion is the best of them, Metal Slug 3, Metal Slug 4, Metal Slug 5, because you really want more Metal Slugging, King of Monsters 2, both good games by the way, Sengoku 3, I do that all the time with that one, Magician Lord, Blues Journey, I really like this game, I'll probably show it in a bit, Shock Troopers Second Squad, Robo Army, Cross Swords, really weird game and I like it, Mutation Nation, 3 Count Bout, King of Fighters 95, 97, 98, 2000, 2002, Art of Fighting, Fatal Fury Special, Real Bout Fatal Fury, Mark of the Wolves, which is Garou. Ah, jeez. Samurai Showdown 2. I used to have the real MVS card of that. Samurai Showdown 4. Samurai Showdown Special. The Last Blade 2. World Heroes Perfect. Kazuna Encounter Super Tag Battle. I'm not a real big fan of fighting games, but I do like this one quite a bit. Ninja Masters. Top Players Golf. Yawn. Super Sidekicks. Football Frenzy. And right here, I want to just take a second to mention that 2 games that I really wish were on this list are not. The first one being, if you're going to put sports games in, why the heck not put League Bowling in, which is one of the best bowling games ever to grace a video game screen. It was just a great game. I can't even believe it's not in here. And the other one is Baseball Stars, which they're totally famous for. So Baseball Stars and Baseball Stars 2 are not in here, which is really super sad. To be honest, I'm really missing those. Blazing Star, Last Resort. These are all good though, making up for it. Ghost Pilots, and Puzzled. So there is all the games. Another note, when you plug the arcade machine into the screen, it puts a little NeoGeo logo on the screen, which I think is kind of neat. Little touch of class. You don't always get that, you know. Alright, the first thing I want to show you on the menu is I'm going to hit Select and Start. And I want you to see that there's a setting to change it from English to any other language that's available on it. Japanese, strangely, isn't, so it does not change the region, which is kind of a bummer, and I'll show you why that is later. Sort default. There is one other setting which is recent. Here, I'll just show you that real quick. Hit A. You can do recently played, so if there's a few games you play over and over again, you can choose those right away. Nice little feature. It's not bad. Screen, I'll show you in a minute. I will show you this as well. I keep it on when I'm doing HDMI. By the way, this option here is not available when you're just playing on the small screen. And then, of course, you can return to default settings. All right, let's get into Metal Slug here. And I'm keeping this in on purpose so you get a feel for the speed. All right, you see that kind of fuzzy edge? That is kind of a problem with the HDMI output. The one thing I want to show you is that I am in 4:3 mode right now. It's weird because you don't notice it so much in game, that fuzziness. All right, I'm in 4:3 mode, but if I did want to stretch, I could do it. I will hit Select and Start again, and I will switch over to Screen, and I will switch it over to Stretch now. I think this is like a pixel perfect mode. However, I don't notice it ever doing anything when I set it, so I'm not going to cover that, but I am going to cover the fact that you can stretch this out. There we go, to be full screen. So I'm going to let it scroll here for a minute so you get an idea of what it looks like. All right, now let's take a break for a second and let's turn image quality optimization off. And hit A. And then let's turn it off. And then let's go back. All right, so here we are in unoptimized mode. And I'm just going to play just a wee bit. And what I'm going to do is on the right side of the screen, I'm going to put the optimized mode gameplay in. on the left side, the unoptimized mode, to see if you can see the difference. I don't see too much of a difference, to be honest with you, but I know some people prefer one mode over the other. Come on, there we go. And there's that. I'm just going to play a little bit more so that you can notice another thing. Have you noticed something? The first thing we're going to notice is that the blood is white, and I think that's because this is in AES mode. It might be because it's an American version versus the Japanese version. Not 100% sure on that. If anybody knows that offhand, it's kind of funny because I had the ability to test all these modes on my MVS, but I never really bothered to do it. So anyway, if you know why the blood is white, let me know. But I'm pretty sure it's to do with it being AES versus MVS. Die, die, die. Alright, everybody's seen Metal Slug, so let's go on to another game. But I do think it runs it pretty darn well. And I'm having no problems with the controllers. It feels really good, plays really nice. It's even basically stalling in the same places that the real hardware does, so that's pretty good. By the way, Metal Slug X is the best way to play it. It's just my opinion. Feel free to comment down below. And I'm going to switch back into 4x3 because this stretched look drives me nuts. Alright, so we're going to get started with Blue's Journey, but what I want to show you is those 4 little dots down the bottom left of Blue's Journey's icon. If you look there, there is one that is all blue and the other ones are empty. Those are your save states. So I already have a save state on Blue's Journey. And that's something to note. And I'll show you how you do that in a second. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. And I forgot to set it out of stretched mode, so let's change that real quick because I absolutely cannot stand that. There we go. And back. All right. I really like this as far as basic platformers go. This one's quite a bit of fun. So you basically whap these guys, and then you can throw them at other enemies. Come on, you. There we go. And there are a number of different weapons. Oh. Got a bunch. There we go. The controls really work well on here. Would have been nice, again, to have had a traditional D-pad, but for these particular games, it doesn't matter too much. It's more in fighting games that you kind of get frustrated with it. Woohoo! Play a little pitfall there. So now I can shrink myself down, grab these little things. Then get yourself big again so you can kill enemies. There we go. Nice. Alright, so say my wife hollers and says, I need you to do something for me, and I want to save my game. Well, I can hit select and start, and I can hit A on save here, and I can save at a new data point. And there we go. It's that simple. If I want to come back and load a game that I previously saved, like here, which is a lot further along, I can just hit A again and load that game. Then hit start to unpause it. There we go. It's actually select to unpause it. I don't know why they did that. Throws me off all the time. But there we go. My game's continuing. Pretty cool, right? And again, another great, nice game on this system. Alright, let's go look at something else. Alright, so here we go with Garou. Hopefully I won't totally embarrass myself. I am definitely not a great connoisseur of fighting games at all. But I do want to show you that this controller is not absolutely perfect for fighters. It's only because you don't get that positive click. So you don't always know exactly where you are as far as controlling the D-pad. And this is a problem you'll notice too if you were to use like an Xbox controller's analog stick to play fighting games too. You get about the same problem. So it's not inherently a problem with this particular system, but it is unusual since historically SNK has taken such care in getting the controllers to be a little bit more clicky. It does not feel like the original SNK controller. That said, it does not feel cheap either. It feels pretty good. There we go. Well, you better die. Come on. Come on. Yeah. You're down. KO. My fighting level was S, which I think means Blazing Star. The controller works really good for this game. Here we go, normal. Desert of Grand Shelf. The first time I saw this game, I was blown away by it. It's just such a good looking game, and I still think that at this point. It aged really well. Power up item appears. Power up. There we go. Come on. Heck yeah. But you can see how I was able to easily dodge bullets with the controls. Again, this controller works really good with shooters. It does work really quite well with that. There we go. Get it more. Hey, an event item appears or comes. I love games like this where you just get these like mega weapons that fill up the screen. The big one is closing in. Yes. It's really what every man wants to hear. Their wife say, or girlfriend, or whatever.
I'm sorry, what?
Horrendous commentary. I am so sorry for my commentary. This is exactly why I'm not a live streamer. Jeez. Oh no. The detail in this game is incredible too. Notice how like when they pass a tree, it like breaks the tree in half. That was a little bit earlier. Sorry about that. I should have commented on it when it was happening. Here we go. I beat it. My skill is great. Alright, let's look at some cross swords. Boy, would it be great if this was in English, huh? We're gonna not load. And we'll start there. We'll see how far I make it. Hey, something horrible's happening, but I can't understand what they're saying, so I don't know what it is. You can, by the way, play most of these games, if not all of them, two-player if you have two joysticks. Bye, rat. Another rat. Yeah, you're going down, ratty. Fireball. Oh, I missed him with the fireball. That sucks. Come on, you. Nice. Now you do have to press forward and shield every once in a while, so they don't hit you. That part's probably what I'm worst at. Yep. Yeah, I did take a little bit of damage there. Got some gold. Yeah, that did a little bit. There we go, shielded. And you're down. Come on, fools. There we go. Look, guard. There we go. This guy's like way better than the other ones. He's tearing me up pretty good. There, he's down. Got more gold. Blah, 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 blah. I have complaints. Come on. Got him. I like the way he explodes. My sword must be super powerful. Oh, crap. Yeah. That's why I saved all my fireballs, fool. I get my butt kicked. Why couldn't he shield? What the? Come on. Come on. See, it's like it. Ah, that's it. I'm done for. And speaking of that, let's get the verdict on this game system.
Retro Rock plays everything.
Alright, so what is the verdict on the NeoGeo Mini Arcade? Well, let's start with construction and overall quality. This is bar none the best of the mini arcades. It is way better thought out than any of them I've played. The controller is better implemented, and it just is all around just playing better than any of them. Now, it is not a perfect machine. If you are a huge SNK fanatic, you're definitely going to notice that this joystick does not feel like an SNK joystick. That said, it still works really, really well. But again, they kind of missed an opportunity there with SNK fans to make it absolutely perfect. Also remember that that button order is not how it is on some of the original AES systems. Well, all the original AES systems. Alright, so sound and video. The built-in 4x3 screen really looks great. It's nice and clear. I didn't feel any lag or any kinds of problems with it at all. I really absolutely love the screen. The sound system is unremarkable. It's not super loud, but it's not super quiet. It's not super clear, but it's not super distorted. It just sits there in the middle. It doesn't bother you, but it's nothing that really pops out either positively or negatively. I like the fact that it has HDMI output. I wish they would have added the ability to do scan lines. It's not a huge oversight for me. Sometimes I don't like fake scan lines, but I think there are people who would have liked it. I also like the fact that they put in the ability to have two players if you buy two controllers. The controllers, however, are generally very overpriced. I've seen them as high as $50 a piece. Note that every once in a while on eBay you can catch them for $25 a piece, and I recommend you go get them there, although I probably will link it up down below to Amazon. Game selection. There are 40 great games on here. There's a lot of Metal Slug, but I am of the opinion you can never have too much Metal Slug. That said, I really do wish they would have had Baseball Stars 2 on here, and I wish they would have had League Bowling. I really don't know why, given the wide audience for those particular games, they weren't included on this system, but they absolutely weren't. I think that's a missed opportunity. Since you can't add anything to this, there's no way they're going to be able to rectify that. So that's kind of a bummer. All right, so one last nitpick, and that is, of course, on the AC adapter, or lack therefore of. Yeah, they include this cable here, but there's absolutely no AC adapter included, and this is a premium product. This costs $100. Yeah, it should include the AC adapter. It's like a $4 part, people. Come on. It's ridiculous. When you get this, you shouldn't have to be, running around looking for an AC adapter to plug into it. especially considering the fact that this does not have battery power. So you are going to have it plugged in when you're playing it. I don't mind the lack of battery power that much, to be honest with you, but I do mind the fact that they didn't bother to include an AC adapter on an item this expensive. That said, all in all, I give this a firm thumbs up. Its job is to be fun, and I'm going to tell you, this little game system is a heck of a lot of fun, and it has a lot of flexibility. You can play it with friends. You can plug it into a TV. You can play it on this tiny little screen with this little joystick here. It's really well thought out, right down to even having a saving system. I really like that. Yeah, if its only job is to be fun, and that's what I think it is, it has succeeded. Alright, thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more, and I hope you had fun viewing it. Bye.